Hey guys, what is up? It's Card Shuffler 99 here. Today I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick. Credit to Fernando P1. But before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification button. So the second we post, you guys can check us out. Also check out our second channel called CS Reviews. There'll be a link in the description for that. One more thing, guys. It's a subscriber contest that'll be starting soon. We can go ahead and get into the trick. So I'd ask your spectator, we don't have one here today, to lift up on about a fourth of the deck. Or, doesn't really matter exactly how much. Just go right there. They lift on this many cards. They could mix them up if they wanted to, and then select any card and bring that selection to the top. So we'll go with this one right here, the King of Diamonds. So the King of Diamonds will be our selection today. Once again, King of Diamonds. Place that on top. Now I'd ask the spectator to lift up on about 2/3 of the cards left, around there, and place it on top of their selection just like that. And from here, they could give the deck a cut, something along those lines, something along there. Doesn't really matter exactly. They can cut as many as they want. Doesn't really matter to me. I would take the cards back and we continue from here. So basically, over here we have the two kings. We're going to place them down on the deck. The spectator can examine them if they would like. We're just going to place them right there. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the rest of the deck and we're going to place it on top of the kings, just like that. From here, what we're going to do is something known as a Pharaoh Shuffle. So, take around half the cards, and we'll go ahead and we'll do the Pharaoh Shuffle. So, we see if we can get a perfect Pharaoh right here. Looking good right there. All right, we can go ahead, we can push the cards together, or riffle them like that, and we can spread out the cards, and we can show you there will be one card in between the two kings. And it just happens to be your selection, the King of Diamonds. That is the trick, guys. Let's learn how to do this. So, guys, this trick is very difficult. It's going to take us a lot. It worked! Alright, guys, so let's go ahead and we're going to learn how to do this trick. It's a really cool effect. And if you guys cannot do a perfect Pharaoh or very close to perfect Pharaoh every time, you might have a little bit of a trouble with this trick. So let's go ahead and learn how to do it. So there is a pretty interesting setup for this trick, and let's learn what that setup is. So what you're gonna need to do is, first of all, you're gonna take one. You're gonna need a full deck, guys. I mean, you can do the math for this trick, but what you're going to do is you're going to take one joker out of the deck. So I only have one joker in this deck. So this is the only joker I have. And then you're going to count 25 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. But before that, you can just take out any two of a kind. So I took out the kings. You can just set that off to the side. So basically, you're going to have two piles of a 25 because you have one joker out of the deck, which leaves you with 53 cards. This joker's out with 52, and then you take these two out, so 50. Divide that by 2, 25 cards, and that's going to be the first step. So once you do this, you're going to do something known as a breather cramp. So what you're going to do is you're going to take any card. You're going to put your thumbs in the middle of the card, and then your index and middle finger there. And you're going to push down and drag out until you get about, not all the way to the edge, but very close to the edge. And then you're going to go ahead and do that again like that. This is known as a breather cramp. And what this does is, so if I put the card right here and I cut the deck, I can clearly see where that is and I can cut right to it every time. Once again, you can cut to it every time because when you're cutting a deck, right, there's just an easy gap for you. So let's go ahead and also, so once you do this, you're going to take this card, and it doesn't really matter which one you place it on top of. Just make sure you do the cramp. Now, guys, if you're worried about bending your cards or something like that, if sometimes there's like an add card, if you really want to, you can use that. But usually, after like some time, they'll just unbend. You guys know what I mean. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead. You're going to place it on top of either pile, and then just place the rest of the cards on top of that, and then just square it up. So that is going to be your setup. So 25 cards, breather cramp, another 25 cards. going to start out with the 2 kings over here. Just place them over to the side. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to start out the trick by asking the spectator to lift out about a fourth, or, maybe 10, 15 cards of the deck. And what you want them to do is you want them to lift somewhere in this first portion of cards. You do not want them to lift up here. If you're nervous about this, you can simply just riffle down the cards and just have them stop before this breather crimp. You need them to stop before there. So let's go ahead. You can say, 10, 15 cards, and they'll lift about maybe around there. It doesn't matter if it's that much more, as long as it's just the cramp is still there on that. So basically, they go ahead, they lift up on how many they want. You can tell them they can shuffle it if they want to. Doesn't matter how they shuffle it. Yeah, so they can shuffle as much as they want, and they need to select a card, so they can go through themselves, and so that, no force at all. They can even go through face up and select the card they want. No, I don't want the 6 of diamonds. I want the ace of diamonds, right? And just tell them when you're finished, just bring your selection to the top. It doesn't matter if you see it. So for the tutorial, we'll use the ace of diamonds. So the ace of diamonds is right here. You ask them to place it on top, and they can set this down right here. So make sure you mention their selection will be on top, just like that. From here, you're going to ask them to take about 2/3 of the cards that are left. So 2/3, they might lift around here, something like that. They have to get past this breather cramp right here. All right, so all I have to do is lift past that. Even that's fine right there. So you'll tell them about 2/3, and they'll lift up right around here. Something like that, something along those lines. As long as it's past that breather cramp, place it on top, and then go ahead. What you're going to do is you're going to introduce the, well, you can ask, if they want to, they can cut the cards a couple times. Doesn't really matter how many times they cut the card until they are satisfied. So let's just go with that. Then you're going to introduce that 2 kings. There's nothing up with the kings. You can have them look at it. Now, this is a good time. If you guys know how to do a Charlier, you'll notice you'll see a breather cramp. Like, the breather cramp is not very hard to spot. As you can see right there, the deck is literally just falling. I'm not even trying to do a Charlier. So you'll be here, and you'll have these cards in your hand in the Charlier grip. You'll take the 2 kings, just like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a Charlier, and you're just going to cut to that breather cramp. So you're going to basically, if you guys cannot do Charlier, it's fine. You're just going to cut to the breather cramp. So basically you're doing Charlier. So the Joker ends up on the bottom. Now, that is while they're looking at the kings, or while you're introducing them and placing them down. You can do that at any time. If you guys cannot do Charlier, it's fine. Just tell them to look at the kings, and then you can go ahead and you can just cut the deck normally until you find that the card you need, the Joker, is on the bottom. And if you need to see if the Joker's on the bottom, you can always, like after you cut the deck, just do a quick 180 turn, just like that, just to see, and then you can peek to see the bottom card. From here, what you can do is after you do that, so basically you're just cutting the Joker to the bottom while you introduce the 2 kings. What you're going to do from here is you're going to place the 2 kings on top of this part of the deck, and you're going to place these cards on top of the kings. Now, what you need to do is, this is where the Pharaoh Shuffle comes in. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, get about half the deck, and it's got to be precise, guys, so make sure you practice lifting up on about half. So let's say you go here, and you're going in to do the Pharaoh, and you notice you have, way too many cards on one side of the deck. So let's say you notice you have way too many cards, like you guys know what I mean, right? Like way too many cards. So let's say I have way too many cards on the top of the deck. You can always just readjust your readjust it, put it back, and then just redo it again. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. You can always just readjust to make sure that you're doing this right. So right there, go ahead. You can do your Pharaoh. It doesn't really matter. It does matter if it's perfect before the kings. That's what you guys really need. So just make sure the Pharaoh is nearly or very close to perfect before the kings, and then you can go ahead and you can push them together. Now, guys, this will not work every time if you cannot do a perfect Pharaoh. So make sure you guys have practiced the Pharaoh Shuffle. So if you mess up there, that can easily throw off something. But here it still worked. The Ace of Diamonds was the selection. So you can push them together just like that. And they can spread the cards out. And basically, mathematically wise, if you guys do everything, perfectly, what should happen is the selection should end up in between the 2 kings when you guys do the Pharaoh Shuffle. So That will take a lot of practice, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, make sure you subscribe. This is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.